pleasure spending time with you. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. And I hope you will be there for the rest of my life.
I will be. And I hope you will be too. And it's been the privilege of my life. And I love you. And yeah, I hope you'll let my friendship be one of the things that you're learning out about it.
Hello everyone, Jester Bell aka Female Frodo Baggins is here, but maybe not Female Frodo for long, because I am planning to grow my hair out, and I don't know if the Female Frodo effect will still be there. But anyway, my next video on this channel after this one is going to be my review for Wicked for Good, which I kind of had it in my head this entire year was probably going to be a decent movie to go see, but after seeing the initial reactions, I'm not so sure. But I have to wonder, was it all worth it, the shenanigans that went on behind the scenes with this movie, if the second half wasn't going to deliver as much as people thought it would? Now, I'm still going to watch it and see for myself how it goes. Maybe I'll think it's a lot better, but here's the thing. Throughout the entire marketing of this movie, and this was like one of the few movies that Hollywood has that was probably guaranteed money at the box office, and I still think it will probably do pretty well. Like, this is the one thing, one of their few things that they had that was guaranteed to bring people into theaters. But I have to say, even for me, whereas there shouldn't be anything in the movie itself that really deters me from seeing it, this is one of those rare cases, where it's the actresses themselves that have always cast a bad net over this movie for me. Like, I liked the first one fine. I think that it is hampered by pacing issues. This is a 3-hour play that they stretched it into 2.5-hour movies. Did not need to be this long, and I think it really damaged the first one. But I've never had it so that a movie that by itself would probably be decent was ruined for me by the casting itself. I mean, perhaps I could say the same thing about Pedro Pascal coming in to Fantastic Four. I definitely did videos on that, and that definitely, I think that was just horrible casting. But for me, it's not even that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande weren't good castings for this role. And in the first one, at least, I thought they did a very good job. But I've just never had it before that you have people who are fine in their roles in the movie, and the movie itself is fine, but the actresses themselves, their real-life persona, actively turns me off from liking a film. Like, I haven't bought the first Wicked on Blu-ray because I'm like, do I really want a film in my collection with these two? And why is that? Because for me, it's like, usually I'm a separate the art from the artist type of person. Certainly, actors and actresses in the past have plenty of cheating scandals and plenty of shady dealings behind the scenes, but typically for me, if they keep it professional and they're just keeping their personal life separate from what they're doing professionally, then I'm fine with it. But the same can't be said for Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande.
Not the time, helicopter? That continues to grow and grow even through this press tour. Something's bothering her. She's gonna fix something. I know. She's getting the fixing itch that Cynthia Erivo gets.
It's not there.
Oh, thank you.
Biggest pinch me moment for each of you on the set. Was it the day you arrived on the set or some special moment that happened during the...
These two ladies just creep me out. And while a lot of people might say that it is mean to say these things about Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, I think it's deserved, because I think that every aspect about these two ladies that people find off-putting, it's 100% from them. It's not right, and it's just indicative of two ladies with really, really awful lifestyles. So obviously, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are playing Elphaba and Glinda respectively in the Wicked franchise. And some of the things that people have been saying really creep them out about these two ladies is, for one thing, the way they behave on set, the way they're constantly touching each other and babying each other, and they can't keep their hands off of each other. In all of these interviews, it's just such a touchy-feeling thing in a way that I haven't seen with any other pair of actors and actresses. ever. I mean, they kind of had that with Vanessa Kirby and Pedro Pascal. They really need to tell actors and actresses that this does not help sell films if you have actors feeling each other up when they're on the press tour. But that is super odd of like Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande just constantly touching each other. But in addition to that, not only are they constantly touching and babying each other in this really odd way that it would just... I'll get into it in a second. I have my theories on what is going on here. But not only that, people have noticed, why are Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande like so skeleton thin? I mean, they're not even thin. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are so malnourished that you can see their rib cage and their spine. You can see their bones peeking out through their skin. And people have noticed that about Michelle Yeoh after this movie as well. And I've actually seen other actresses, unfortunately. Now I guess the new style is to starve yourself so much that you can actually see your bones through your skin. I don't understand it, but let's go back a bit, because obviously these things are happening and they're what people point out, and maybe some people are trying to stave off the criticism. Ariana Grande in particular has a huge fan base, but here's the thing, like, this behavior goes back all the way to the beginning, where I just think that these are two awful people and they're so bad, and it's always bled out into the production of Wicked itself, and that's what turns me off from the movie. So Ariana Grande, you know, you can talk about all you want about how we shouldn't make fun of looks, we shouldn't try to read into things, we should be respectful, but Ariana Grande is an awful person. Like, she had a reputation for years beforehand of maybe being a homewrecker, about getting together with people who were in relationships with others. That was a rumor for years. But she brought it to Wicked itself by having an affair with her co-star who plays Bach in the movie. And he was a married man with a kid in real life. And Ariana Grande inserted herself into this relationship and began an affair with this man and destroyed that marriage and destroyed that family that had been together for years at that point. And the awful thing is, it happened once again, obviously, on the set of Wicked when they were filming the movie. And that's going to be a major scandal. So the studio actually really tried to downplay it and make it sound like the guy who plays Bach, Ethan Slater. They tried to make it sound like he had broken up with his wife before he got together with Ariana Grande, and that was their narrative. And they really tried to downplay it during the promotion of Wicked. Only after the Wicked movie came out did the wife, the now ex-wife of Ethan Slater, come out and say Ariana Grande moved in, made moves on her husband, stole him away from her. Not that the husband isn't 100% guilty for doing that. And that now this poor lady who had her entire life destroyed by Ariana Grande over what she did, gets to see the promotionals everywhere she goes, on like the high rises and the big buildings and the posters of Ariana Grande starring in this movie with co-star Ethan Slater, her husband that she stole from her, and gets, you know, the Oscar buzz and all these accolades and all this praise for starring in this movie, even though this was the very movie that literally destroyed this woman's life. So yeah, Ariana Grande is an awful person. In real life, she is a well-known homewrecker at this point. And once again, it would be one thing if this was just an awful person who was just keeping that separate from whatever she was doing professionally. But this was brought on to the production of Wicked itself. It was a part because she chose to have that affair with one of the co-stars of this movie. So perhaps I don't feel so bad on that front, that people are going after Ariana Grande and the odd behavior elsewhere on set. Also, I just want to say, she comes off as so fake to me. She is always finding a new fake voice to put on. And yes, she made the excuse in interviews that it's to protect her vocal cords. I don't buy it.
Shouldn't have said that. Don't give him any ideas, man.
Is hosting an awards show the worst possible gig?
No, this was actually like a huge debate. That's a good question.
It just comes off as so fake to me. But getting into the other stuff about Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, like the constant touching of each other on set. Some people, it's really hard for them not to believe that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo have a more than friends relationship. Like, this image or this video of Cynthia Erivo fixing Ariana Grande's necklace when there's nothing even wrong with it. Just constantly having to feel each other up and baby each other. A lot of people think that there might be something going on behind the scenes that is more than a friendship. Now, I have to say, well, I guess it's possible for two women to be in this very odd relationship with each other, where there's all this constant touching and feeling each other up. And also, Ariana Grande is very performative, so it wouldn't surprise me if some of this is an act. But also, it just wouldn't surprise me if the other is true as well. And just even the idea that these people are doing stuff behind the scenes also is damaging, because Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are with different people now. But that's the whole thing. These two ladies have a history, both of them actually, of getting together with people when they're already spoken for. Cynthia Erivo is currently married to a woman, and that woman that Cynthia Erivo is married to, she was actually in a relationship with another woman when Cynthia Erivo and her got together. So, and then Ariana Grande, we've already gone through that history.
I didn't know that.
These two have a history of hooking up with people when they're already together with others. So, to say that these two aren't getting together when they're because they're with other people now, it's like that hasn't mattered to them at all in the past. And so that just heightens these rumors that all this touchy-feeliness from Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande together is much more than just a really tight-knit friendship like they're trying to portray it as. And that also is a big turnoff to this movie. Now, also, there's, once again, just how sickly they both look. And for a lot of actresses in Hollywood are looking like this now, but we see it specifically, like Cynthia Erivo and Ariana used to actually look like people. There's always been a thing in Hollywood where you have to look the thinnest, you have to look the best, and a lot of self-abuse and self-harm can come because of that. But I don't think it's ever been more obvious than what we're seeing in actresses right now. Clearly, there's some sort of eating disorder going on. Clearly, there's some sort of self-harm going on. To starve yourself and to potentially take drugs, I'm sure maybe Ozempic is in the situation, to the point when you have your spine and your bones and your rib cage showing to everyone. There is nothing attractive about it. This is not about keeping up looks. This is merely self-harm. And I can't help but think to Jeanette McCurdy's book, I'm Glad My Mother Died, who was Ariana Grande's co-star on Nickelodeon. Jeanette McCurdy talked about how her mom would make her calorie count even as a child, because her mom just wanted to make her more young and marketable for as long as possible, and that led to, really destructive eating disorders later in her life that took her a long time to get over, and that it just didn't become even about looking the best anymore. It just became about these habits and the abuse started by her mom, and how now she was in these really self-harming habits just all for most of her life until she was eventually able to get over it. So I see it, and this is why I don't have a problem with people calling this out. I see what is potentially going on with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande and these other actresses as not just a trend or I have to look my best, but a form of self-harm, especially considering what Jeanette McCurdy revealed about the abuses that go on with child actors and, especially at Nickelodeon. And Ariana Grande also coming from Nickelodeon with working for a man who we know was a known PDF file and videos of like him being creepy with her. I'm sure
not entirely
Ariana
true, but
Grande has gone through some horrible stuff, and that maybe that is some of what led to this behavior in the first place. But like as Jeanette McCurdy's book showed, just because you've gone through that does not mean that needs to define you forever. And Jeanette McCurdy was able to get over those eating disorders. But I don't know, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo.
What was not entirely true is the she showed Dan Schneider, and he's not a pedophile from what I understand, but I know that he's a pedophile sympathizer. Still not a great person. He knew some things that were going on, even though he claims he doesn't, but the whole spiel about taking someone at their word and shit. But he was abusive towards women, definitely. Anyway.
Just seems to be getting worse and worse with them. And so it's just really hard for me to see them paraded around and celebrated in this movie when they have such bad habits themselves, and paraded around in a movie that a lot of little girls are going to be watching, and there's a lot of merch for little girls. It's hard for me to watch that when I just see that these are such unhealthy ladies on both a mental, physical, and I would say a spiritual level. Like Cynthia Erivo does not look well. Like she looks very, very sickly, and for all people making fun of her for that, she didn't always look this way. And I think that it's just indicative of how she's treating herself and what she's getting into behind the scenes. So, what I want to say is like we don't want to make fun of people who have disorders and like have a lot. And I know that Ariana Grande in particular had a lot of bad stuff most likely happen in her life. And I remember her saying that her parents got divorced very young and she was in therapy at a very young age. But it also just doesn't excuse this because it is entirely possible to work very hard and get yourself out of this. But it just seems like these are two ladies that are just swirling in it and getting further and further into it. And at some point or another, there's just no excuse. There's no excuse for Ariana Grande to treat other people the way that she has treated them. And there's just no excuse for this kind of behavior to other people and towards themselves. But yeah, that's why it just is so hard for me to get on board with Wicked. And like, regardless of how the movie turns out, maybe it'll just be fine. Maybe it's not great, but maybe it's fine. We'll see. But it's just hard for me to ever like this pair of movies fully because just too much of the actresses have bled out into the movies themselves from the promotion and for what has gone on set. And it's just hard for me to watch it in this case and separate the movie from those two actresses. And it's an odd situation because I don't think that they're badly cast. I just think that they are so destructive in real life, once again, mentally, physically, and spiritually, that it is so hard for the movie to get away from that. And I think that this should be a warning for the people behind the scenes because I do think that it matters. I do think that it matters when your actresses have just become so unlikable that it does turn people off. Because Wicked, the first one, did very well, and maybe the second one will as well, but I'm wondering, could these movies do even better if it wasn't for how these actresses are in real life? And they cut the Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo press tour short, saying that Cynthia has vocal issues, and so in solidarity, Ariana is quitting the marketing tour as well, which is funny because that they have to do everything together. Ariana has to do everything with this woman who she can't stop touching and who is totally just her friend. She has to completely advocate. She has to completely remove herself from doing interviews just in solidarity with Cynthia. But it's like, I'm also wondering if all of that was an excuse to just get them off of the promotional tour because the people behind the scenes might be realizing that they're doing more harm than good. But I just wanted to get that off my chest, that I've just never had it before. It's even worse than Pedro Pascal, where I was upset at him getting cast in so many things, but with Ariana and Cynthia, it's a case where it's like they just can't keep it in. There's just no way to hide just how much self-destruction, but how self-destructive these two people are behind the scenes. And I think that it's really tainted this movie and this pair of movies, and it's a big deal because this was one of the few things that Hollywood had left to sell. And these two actresses really did not help in the situation. But that's all I got for you guys today. What do you think about all of this? Do you think that I'm too harsh on Ariana and Cynthia Erivo? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.
I mean, I gotta give her a like for that because I don't disagree with her, They are, like, the shorts I've been sharing and the confusion I've been getting is kind of on part of that. They're very, it's giving that maybe Cynthia Erivo and her wife person had a open relationship conversation and we're just all not a part of that because of course we wouldn't be. And Ariana is just reaping the benefits of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's really off-putting. And this person is very correct. They're both very tiny. Like, I don't remember Like, I don't know who Cynthia Erivo is, right? Crocheting while talking. I don't really know who she is. I don't know what she's been in, or if, like, she's been in anything before Wicked and just kind of hung out or whatever. It's just kind of slightly unsettling. It's some interviews are very cute, but also it's Ariana Grande, and she's known for licking donuts and putting them back on the shelf, claiming fuck America and fuck everything this country stands for, while also living in it freely and comfortably. She's cheated on many different significant others with other people in significant other relationships as a means to get over on the girl and be like, ha 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 ha, ha, I got your man, and just very, like, disgusting mean girl antics. Like, it's just, and, like, she comes off of Wicked talking to a Miss, interacting with and being basically in a really strange relationship with her co-star. And now she's, I believe, single. Like, she's not with Ethan Slater anymore, which is, like, so, like, fuck him for leaving his wife and their newborn son. Like, actively, but it's like I don't understand the motive around Ariana's lifestyle. Like, if Cynthia's just like, yeah, we're gonna be besties, and having, like, a full scale actual conversation with her about being like, we don't have to be in a relationship, but we can be best friends, and maybe you've just never had a best friend before. But the way that they're interacting with each other in these interviews, it's like low-key a relationship, like low-key a very intimate best friendship. Like, there's stuff going on there, and nobody's rattled by it. Like, everybody in the cast, because I guess they're just so used to how Ariana just is. Nobody in the cast is rattled by the entirety of the conversation. And, yeah. I don't know how to feel about that. But anywho, I'm almost done with my first chain and or first row of crocheting, and I need to go to the video I'm following to get the rest of the chain, or get the next row at least. And I will, I'll see you later. I got this video that I watched from Jester Bell on YouTube. It's spelled Jesterbell. They seem pretty opinionated if you want to check them out. Yeah. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.